Judge, finally the state would call Warden John Galipeau, please.
Witness sworn.
Will you state your name, please?
My name is John Galipeau.
And, Mr. Galipeau, how are you employed?
I'm employed as the warden of Westville Correctional Facility, Department of Corrections.
And, Mr. Galipeau, you don't have to lean into the microphone. It doesn't amplify, it only records.
Okay.
So if you speak in a normal, kind of outside voice, we'll all be able to hear you. Fair enough?
Will do.
Okay. And Warden, how long have you been employed as the warden of Westville?
A little over 4 years.
Okay. And were you employed in law enforcement before that?
No. I've been in DOC for 27.
DOC for 27 years? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I want to just get kind of the nuts and bolts of this, and I want to bring.
Correct.
And are you familiar with that inmate?
I am.
And you are housing him in your facility as a courtesy for Carroll County. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
Okay. And he is housed in your facility?
Yes, sir.
Where in your facility is he housed?
He's housed in APOD.
Okay. Can you tell me about APOD?
APOD is a maximum security unit. It has 55 individuals in it.
Okay. And is he segregated in that APOD?
Yes, sir.
And that means he's in a cell by himself?
Correct.
What is in that cell?
Depending on his mental health orders, currently I believe a mattress, his legal work, and a Bible.
Okay. And does he have a toilet in that cell?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Does he have a shower in that cell?
No, sir.
Okay. And do you know the dimensions of the cell?
I believe it's 12 by 8.5.
Okay. And you said there is a mattress. Is there a bed frame or is the mattress on the floor?
There's a bed frame.
Okay. Can you tell me about the bed frame?
The bed frame is a standard-sized bed frame. It's just bolted to the floor, because it's designed as a suicide occupancy cell.
And so as I imagine a cell that there's a bed frame, but it's directly on the floor and that is for suicidal purposes.
Correct.
Or to prevent suicidal occurrences.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, that was a poorly phrased question. Why did you house him in that unit?
When he got there, I don't believe he was on, 'cause, well, first of all, that individual cell has a camera, so he could be on 24-hour surveillance.
And so it was important for you to have him on 24-hour surveillance?
Correct.
Okay. So we're going to see back to the question, but specifically, why did you, when you accepted him as a courtesy hold, why did you house him in the segregation unit as opposed to general population?
For his safety.
Okay. You have concerns about his safety?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why did you have concerns about his safety?
Just the nature of the charges.
Did you have any direct threats made to you or your facility?
No.
Were you made aware of any direct threats made to you or your facility?
No, sir.
Okay. So I want to get back to the cell that he's in. You said you believe it's a 12 by 8 cell?
12 by 8.5, I believe.
8.5. And is that the same cell that everyone else in that unit has, the same sized cell?
Correct, all 255 beds are the same.
Okay. And the mattress he's sleeping on, is it the same mattress that the other inmates in that
Yes, sir.
pod get? Is it the same mattress that the inmates in the entire facility get?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And talked about he has a bed. Is he currently on suicide watch?
He is.
Okay. Have there been times when he wasn't on suicide watch?
Yes, sir.
The times he's not on suicide watch, is he in the same cell?
Correct.
Okay. Has he been in the same cell his entire stay?
His entire time.
And there's 24-hour video surveillance on the cell. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there audio and video surveillance or just video?
Just video.
Just video. And when he's moved from that cell, is there video on him when he's moved from the cell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is he put in shackles or handcuffs when he's moved from the cell?
Yes, sir.
Why is that done?
That's standard practice for all of them.
For all the inmates in that pod?
All 255.
Okay. Does he have time to shower?
He does.
How many times a week can he shower?
3 times.
And does he have change of clothes?
He does.
How many changes of clothes does he get?
They get collected every Wednesday and distributed every Thursday.
And when they're distributed, how many sets of clothing does he have?
I believe 3.
Okay. And does he have access to commissary?
He does.
Has he exercised his ability to buy commissary?
He has.
What has he bought during? Or what has he bought from commissary?
I believe he's bought clothing, socks, shoes, shirt, not sure about food items, but he's bought clothing and hygiene.
So on top of the 3 sets of clothing he gets a week, he also has additional clothing in his cell?
He does.
And additional shoes?
Yes.
Does he get time for recreation?
He does.
How much time does he get for recreation?
1 hour 5 times a week.
Okay. Is that different from the other inmates in that facility?
No, sir.
Okay. And so it sounds like everything that he's gotten up to this point is identical to the other inmates in that unit of your facility.
Correct.
Okay. He has a toilet in his cell. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any limit on the amount of toilet paper he gets?
No. When it's out, he puts the roll and we exchange it.
Okay. Is there a limit to how much or how often he can use the restroom?
No.
Do you require him to wear the same set of clothing day after day?
No.
And so he can change clothing at any point that he wants in his cell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is he required to wear soiled or stained or tattered or torn clothing?
No, sir.
And in fact, you said he had exercised his use of the commissary and he has new clothing in his cell. Is that correct?
He has at one time, yes, sir.
Okay. Does he have access to an electronic tablet of some kind?
He does.
Tell me about that.
It's a tablet from GTL. Matter of fact, he was just issued a second tablet about 2 weeks ago. He broke his first tablet, and the average person in Westville would have to replace that for $250. We gave him the opportunity for an additional tablet.
Okay. So let me back up a little bit. What capabilities does he have with that tablet?
If he purchases stuff, he can purchase music, download movies, but more importantly, phone calls.
And the phone calls, are they video calls or just the typical phone calls that we'd be used to?
Just the typical phone calls.
Does he have access to be able to text people from that tablet?
No.
And so he was issued a tablet.
He was.
When he came to the facility, that tablet was broken by him?
Yes, sir.
And in typical situations, it's my understanding that if an inmate breaks the tablet, you make him pay the $250 replacement fee before they get another one.
Correct.
That didn't happen here?
No, sir.
What happened?
We issued him a tablet based on behavior. We had a little mental health design, some expectations for him to meet, and he met those, and we issued him another tablet.
Why would you issue him a new tablet without paying for the old one when you don't do that to the other inmates?
It's not customary.
Okay. You do have medical staff on site at your facility. Is that correct?
24 hours.
And you do have mental health personnel on site at your facility. Is that correct?
We do.
Has he been checked out by the medical staff on a regular basis?
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten any reports? This is going to be a broad term, but have you gotten any reports that he's unhealthy in any way?
No, sir.
Have you gotten reports that his BMI and his vitals are all on track, that he's healthy?
Normal ranges.
Normal range. Has he been checked out by medical personnel or medical mental health personnel on a regular basis?
Almost daily.
And you said he's gone on suicide watch recently. Was there a time when he wasn't on suicide watch?
When he first got there, I don't think he was on suicide watch for a while. I can't give you an exact time, but the recent past months, he's been on some sort of suicide watch, whether it be constant or close supervision.
Okay. Do you know, within a range, do you know when that switched from not being on suicide watch to being on suicide watch?
Let's see, I believe we got him November 4th probably sometime in September, sick. I think he wasn't on suicide watch for the first couple months, I believe.
Okay. And was there a time in the recent past you began to get strange behavior from him?
Yes, sir.
And at that point, did you have him seen on a more often basis by the medical and mental health staff?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what, for lack of better term, do you know what flipped the switch or what caused the switch to be flipped?
I know we went from suicide companion to officer companion, I think a day after he received his legal work.
Okay.
I'm sorry, would you finish that? I didn't hear what you said.
We changed from suicide companion to officer companion the day after he received his legal work.
So I want to talk about suicide companion. What does that mean?
The normal individual will have a suicide companion, comes from our plus unit, it's a religious unit, and the incarcerated individual would watch over him every 5 to 15 minutes and just take notes on behavior. Those logs would be reviewed by the shift supervisor and mental health staff.
And at some point, you switched it over to having officers in your facility actually be that companion watch.
24 hours a day.
Okay. And so now, currently, he has an officer at his door or at the front of his cell who watches him 24 hours a day.
Correct.
Plus, he's on camera in the cell 24 hours. Well, at the times he's in the cell.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is he allowed face-to-face visits with family and friends?
He had at least one, yes.
Okay. In the future, is he going to be allowed if he's held at your facility, given what you know, indeed the suicide watch and all those things, is he going to be allowed face-to-face visits?
Yes.
Okay. Do inmates in that pod are they normally allowed face-to-face visits?
None of them.
So only he is allowed face-to-face visits?
Correct.
Okay. Did, at some point, you prevent him from having face-to-face visits?
No.
Okay. So throughout his stay from late October/early November till now, that entire time he was allowed to have face-to-face visits?
If requested.
Okay. Want to talk about the attorney visits? Is he allowed to have attorney visits?
Yes, sir.
And you've had an opportunity. Well, let me back up. Are attorneys allowed to bring cell phones into your facility?
No.
And have you allowed attorneys to bring cell phones in your facility in the past, at least to your knowledge?
No.
Okay. Are attorneys allowed to bring in computers into your facilities to meet with the inmates?
No, sir.
Okay. If an attorney needed a cell phone or his computer to go over discovery with one of the inmates, are those accommodations you could make in your facility?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The visitations with attorneys, are those recorded?
They are, for general population. Yes, all visits are recorded.
Well, let's talk. I want to talk specifically about Richard Allen. The visitations between Richard Allen and his attorneys, are those recorded?
They have been, yes.
At some point, they were recorded, I think, with a handheld camcorder. Is that correct?
Correct.
That has stopped?
It has.
Why'd that stop?
It was requested.
By the attorneys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are the visitations still recorded by some kind of security camera?
Yes, sir.
And that's a video recording with no audio. Is that correct?
Correct. So just to clarify, the visitation from the unit that he's incarcerated in currently, there's no face-to-face visits, so it's not recorded. The visitors go up to the front desk, they would get on the kiosk system, he would get on the computer at the facility, and they would talk, they could see each other. General population, where we took Mr. Allen, is all surveillanced.
Okay. And so the unit that Mr. Allen is on, none of those inmates get face-to-face visits?
None of them.
With attorneys, family, nothing?
Well, attorneys if requested, but no family.
Okay. In Mr. Allen's case, he's been allowed to visit his attorneys. And how was that facilitated, meaning where are they taken, that kind of thing?
He was taken to the general population visitation room, I believe it was from 1 to 3 or so, and we closed off visitation at 12:30 to 3:30, just to make sure that he had privacy and that he didn't see any other individuals.
And if he's continued to be housed at your facility, are you will ing to continue to accommodate the attorneys to continue to visit with him?
Yes, sir.
And again, you're willing to accommodate them in terms of taking a cell phone or computer in so that they can review the discovery materials with Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you said his behavior has been from non-suicidal to suicidal. Let me back up. Do you know specifically what changed his behavior?
I believe it's when he receives his legal work, he's been on some sort of suicide watch the entire time after that.
Okay. And during that time, has Mr. Allen requested to meet with you?
He's written me, yes.
And what did he write you?
He wrote me numerous things. I think he sent me 5 or 6 letters, some of it.
Judge, may we approach?
Yeah. Sidebar conference conducted.
I'm not sure if we're gonna start having discussions about discovery that I don't have.
That's why I'm kind of like.
I'm not aware of any of these letters. To that extent, I'm gonna start objecting 'cause I'm
Okay.
not sure what he's gonna say.
Do you have them?
Yeah. I've been reaching out, inaudible.
Have you provided them to him?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Well, 'cause he needs them. Sidebar conference concluded.
When Mr. Allen first came to your facility, was he taking advantage of the recreational time that he was afforded?
It was hit or miss. Sometimes he would just refuse to go to rec, sometimes he went.
Okay. Has he ever refused any meals?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me about that?
It's off and on. You know, we record them, we'll declare him on a hunger strike after his 4th missed meal. I don't know how many hunger strikes he's been on, but he typically eats. I check those logs every day. I know he ate breakfast this morning right about 4 o'clock.
And was he exercising not only at rec time, but was he exercising in his cell on a regular basis as well?
Was he exercising in his cell?
Yes.
On occasion, yes, sir.
And throughout this time, again, he's being seen by medical and mental health staff on a regular basis his entire stay there?
Correct.
Okay. Do you continue to this day to have concerns for his safety?
Currently where he's housed at, I don't.
Okay. If he was moved to general population, would you have concerns for his safety?
I would.
And has the mental health or medical staff expressed any concerns to you that would cause you to have concerns for his health or well-being?
I'm gonna object to. We kind of talked about this in.
Sustained.
Have you seen anything in the reports that you get that Mr. Allen was being treated unfairly in your facility?
I have not.
Is he being treated different from other inmates in your facility?
No, sir.
In fact, it sounds like he's getting more benefits than the inmates in your facility.
That is true.
When he's transported from your facility, does DOC, are they the ones that take care of the transport?
Correct.
And they're the ones that have the manpower, supply the manpower to transport him. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Razi.
So Mr. McClelland asked you about his cell. I think you said it was a 12 by 8.5 room. Is that right?
Correct.
I'm sure you saw the motion that I filed with the court, alleging some of.
I believe so, yes.
And in that motion, I'm looking at it right now, it says a 6 by 10 room. Does that sound consistent with what I've reported to the court?
I'm unaware of any 6 by 10 room.
Okay. But was that consistent with what I reported to the court?
I believe so, yes.
So I was a couple feet off, right?
A few.
All right. 2 feet one way and 2 feet the other, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I think what I heard today is that from the minute Mr. Allen was assigned to your facility, that he was placed in a, what I'll call a suicide cell. Is that correct?
Correct.
He wasn't necessarily on suicide watch, but he was detained as if he was suicidal?
He was put in that room for the camera at that time, yes.
Okay. And so those circumstances have remained throughout his stay, right?
Yes.
And that was before there was any mental health assessment of him or anything of that nature which suggested that he was suicidal, right?
Correct. I believe he was on suicide watch a few months after he was there.
Do the other cells in the maximum security unit have cameras in them?
Only 4.
Okay. So there is a difference between the circumstances he's detained in that maximum security unit and 50 other cells, right?
Just the camera, correct.
Well, pretty significant difference, isn't it?
Sure.
Having somebody starting at you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week versus not, right?
Sure.
It's my understanding that this unit that Mr. Allen is detained in is the highest security unit within your facility, right?
At Westville? Correct.
Yeah. We talked earlier, you weren't in here, but it's kind of a prison within a prison really, isn't it?
It's separated, correct.
Yeah. Has its own gates that you have to go through, even after you get into the facility?
It does.
Well, and the most heinous of criminals are often housed in that facility, aren't they?
Half of them.
Half of the most heinous inmates?
It's a 255-bed facility. Half of them are department-wide and the other half are Westville offenders.
Okay.
So half of them are
people that are
Level 2 offenders.
People that have been convicted of the most heinous crimes you and I can imagine, right?
There's some bad crimes in there, yes.
Yeah. And he's basically detained right next to them, right with them, isn't he?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And those people are actually, these heinous offenders in your facility are actually set aside and removed from your general population, aren't they?
Correct.
You wouldn't house those people with the people in general population, would you?
Say that again, sir.
You wouldn't house those people with the people in general population.
I do. I mean, like I said, half of the facility is designed for Level 2 Westville offenders, so whether they're in there for a day or a year, when they're released, they go back to general pop.
Okay. Now, did you have a chance to see Mr. Allen when he was first housed in your facility back in November?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did he look anything like he looks now?
Similar.
He's lost a lot of weight, hasn't he?
He's lost some weight.
All right. And in terms of just his overall mental health, regardless of what's to blame for it, it's definitely deteriorated, hasn't it?
It's changed.
Yes. For the worst, right?
It's changed.
Yeah. For the worst, hasn't it?
It's off and on. I mean, I spoke to him yesterday, he spoke fine.
Okay. But the point is that he doesn't look the same, does he?
He's lost some weight.
And he's not acting the same, is he?
On occasion. Like I said, he spoke clearly to me yesterday and last week, nothing, sir.
But he's engaged in some conduct in your facility that's, frankly, pretty unsanitary.
To his doings, yes.
Yeah. Now, to the extent that he was, you said earlier that he was suicidal, right? At some point.
I said he was put on suicide watch.
Okay. Well, was he suicidal?
Mental health put him there.
You didn't have anything to do with that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever suggest that anybody at your facility reach out to?
I have not personally, no.
Okay. Do you know anybody else in your facility that suggested to do that?
I have not, no.
Okay. Do you know anybody in your facility that suggested that we should reach out to the sheriff in Carroll County and maybe let him know what's going on up here?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You're aware, I assume, that I made a request to actually just inspect or look at his cell when I was up there on one occasion.
Yes, sir.
And I'm kind of gathering this from what I experienced. But was there ultimately a phone call to you about whether or not I should be able to do that?
There was communication, correct.
And were you the one that suggested to Captain Lewis that I couldn't do that?
I said that no one can go in his cell until I get authorization.
Okay.
It was an unusual request.
For me to just go see his cell?
For anybody.
How far away was I at the time I asked for that?
I'm not sure, I'm just saying it was an unusual request. I've never had that request before.
I mean, I was in the same building, right?
Correct.
Probably just right around the corner, right?
Correct.
Are you aware that I filed another request, a more formal request, to get in your facility?
I'm not sure if I seen that one, no.
Okay. Has your DOC staff or attorneys talked to you about any of that?
They do, we communicate.
All right. But that's not happened as we sit here today, has it?
I just don't recall of it, no.
No, that I've had a chance or my staff had a chance to go in and see the circumstances under which he's detained.
It has not.
Now, with regard to this tablet that you referenced, you said he has the ability to make phone calls on that tablet, right?
He does.
So he could, theoretically, call his family, right?
I think 3 family members are listed.
Okay. But anything that he said to them about his case would be recorded by your facility?
Recorded by GTL.
Okay. Which you subcontract with them.
Correct.
And so you have access to all that?
I do not.
Well, somebody that, in the facility has access.
Internal affairs.
Okay. You have.
His family members would.
An investigative team or something, right?
I do.
Okay. And so they're the ones that monitor all those calls, right?
Only one has capability of it.
I'm sorry.
Only one investigator has the capability of it.
Okay. So anything that he would communicate to his family, if it was at all remotely related to his case, you would know about it or the investigator would know about it.
If they listen to it, correct.
Well, they're listening to it, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
Well, has anybody asked you to monitor any of that?
Has anybody asked me?
Yeah.
No. All inmates are recorded, they're all recorded.
Are you aware that the prosecutor has offered up phone calls and stuff to us?
Say that again.
Are you aware that the prosecutor, Mr. McClelland, has offered up phone?
Well, the calls for the attorneys are not recorded.
No, I'm talking about the family members.
Specifically what?
Are you aware that the state has offered up to us numbers, various phone calls of recorded conversations from that facility?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Nobody's ever asked you about any of that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So, apparently, the investigative part of your staff is not communicating with you about his circumstances.
I'm just now aware about his phone calls.
Okay. And your position is, with regard to our access to the facility, that we're not allowed to have cell phones in there?
No attorneys are allowed to have cell phones.
Okay. Did anybody tell you I had a cell phone in there the first time I went in there?
Yeah, the shakedown sergeant.
Okay. All right. After that occurred, right?
Say that again.
I took a cell phone in there the first time, didn't I?
And the second time.
Right. And then, all of a sudden, the rules changed, didn't they?
The rules never changed. Attorneys weren't allowed to have cell phones.
Well, then the enforcement of them changed, didn't it?
No, it's not.
Now, with regard to this video circumstance, well, let me back up. Have you ever, in your time as a warden, housed a pretrial detainee that's not been convicted of a crime at any point in their life?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. First time, right?
For me.
And you acknowledged there was a circumstance for a couple of months where your staff members were videotaping our visits with our client?
Only video, yes.
Okay. And, in fact, you actually assigned a correctional officer that carried a video camera around and followed us around the facility into the room where we were meeting?
Any time he was out of the cell, correct.
And that correctional officer was asked, essentially, to stage him or herself at the window next to where we were meeting?
When he was on constant suicide watch, we had to, yes.
Okay. And that was never communicated to us before we visited with him, was it?
I'm not sure what was communicated to you.
You certainly didn't do it, right?
Do what, sir?
You certainly didn't communicate that to us.
Not to you, no.
And you didn't communicate to your officer to tell your officer to.
No, sir.
You just did it.
Yes, sir.
And at some point, there were concerns raised by us that we didn't have any privacy, wasn't there?
There was.
And I'm assuming that your legal team at the DOC suggested that you stand down with regard to that videotaping.
That was the decision.
Okay. And do you have any need to do that in the future when we're meeting with him?
I don't.
Okay.
We'll need constant visual if he's on mental health constant observation.
But you don't have any need to videotape attorney-client meetings, right?
No, sir.
You ever videotaped an attorney-client meeting with another inmate?
I believe so.
And who was that?
I believe it was Mr. Campbell.
Okay. And when was that?
Oh, probably a year ago.
Was it in the same facility?
Yes, sir.
Or does any of that go in outside of the maximum security unit in the general population?
General population, they're all recorded.
They're always what?
They're always recorded.
Well, do you have a specific officer assigned to each of those individuals as you move them around to visitation with their attorneys?
No. I take them to the visitation room.
All right. Basically, there's normal surveillance up in the corner, right?
Correct.
Do you, to the extent that Mr. Allen is afforded visitations with his family, do you have any problem with him having water during those visitations?
It would be an exception.
You have to make an exception for him to have a drink?
It would be an exception.
Okay. Inmates aren't allowed to have water when they visit W with their family?
No food or water during visits.
Okay. Well, the visitation room we were in just a week or two ago, had vending machines from wall to wall, right?
They can take them back.
Okay. So, but nobody can drink water?
Not in the visitation room.
But I'm pretty sure I saw a water fountain over on the wall when I was in there, right?
There may have been.
You're not sure if there is?
It's probably for staff, if there is.
Okay. I've had a chance to review some articles regarding your facility. Are you generally aware that your facility is kind of in the midst of an overhaul?
We are rebuilding, yes.
There's a gentleman, it looks like, by the name of Kevin Orm. Do you know him?
Kevin Orm?
Orm, I'm sorry.
Yes.
He's the Director of Construction Services of the Indiana Department of Corrections?
Yes, sir.
And I see that there's been a lot of, well, frankly, the state has decided, essentially, tear your facility down and renovate it, right? Or remodel it.
To rebuild.
Okay. Get rid of what you have now, and replace it with something new.
In the future.
Right. It's $1 billion project, right?
I'm not sure of the money.
And there's been plenty of coverage regarding the circumstances and the circumstances at your facility. Isn't that right?
Say that again, sir.
Well, there's been plenty of media coverage regarding the circumstances.
I assume so.
And there's been findings, in fact, that it doesn't meet the modern safety and security standards and operation needs of your staff members?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
Westville's a pretty safe facility.
Well, do you read any of this literature?
I didn't read that.
All right.
I'd say Westville's a pretty safe facility.
Your facility was recently sued for violations that occurred in the very unit where Mr. Allen was housed.
I don't know specifically what you're talking about, no.
Well, I just think I saw an article where somebody settled a lawsuit for $400,000 for wrongful detention in that facility.
Not since I've been there.
You don't know anything about it?
Not since I've been there.
In the motion that I filed, I actually included that article as a footnote. Did you see that?
Not since I've been there. I've been there for 4 years.
Did you review this particular motion that I filed with the court?
Yes.
Okay. You saw the photos that I attached of Mr. Allen?
I'm not sure I saw any photos, no.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I saw any photos.
Handing you what's been marked as.
Oh, I saw that.
You're aware of this photo, right?
I saw that.
And you're aware that I basically took exception to the condition that he was in at the time, right?
Apparently so.
All right. And you would acknowledge, I assume, by just looking at that, the clothing that he's wearing it's soiled and stained, isn't it?
It is. He just got out of the rec area on that particular day.
All right. And your rec area is where?
He was offered the opportunity to go back and change, he refused.
Okay.
In his cell, he had brand new clothes that he purchased off commissary.
Does his shirt get that brown and that stained all in that rec period?
I didn't inspect him before he went to rec.
Okay. Is the rec area there in that confinement area? The maximum security facility?
Is there a rec area?
Yes.
There's several of them.
Right. Well, let's talk about that. Outside of the walls of that maximum security facility, in the rest of the prison, there's all kinds of rec opportunities, aren't there? Basketball courts?
There is.
How many do you have? 4, 5, or 6 on the grounds?
Probably.
Volleyball courts?
No.
Baseball diamonds?
Yes.
Plenty of areas where people could move about and recreate, right?
Correct.
But in this particular situation, you have a confined area that's just a small cage, basically, just outside of the maximum security unit, right?
Not correct.
Well, what does the rec area look like?
Actually, we just renovated it, so the rec area has a brand new bike, it has a brand new rowing machine on the inside rec area. The outside rec area has pull-up bars and it has a basketball net.
Okay. Is there anything in that rec area? People could go out and play in the mud or in the sand or anything like that?
No.
So he wouldn't have any reason to look like he did in that photograph, right?
I'm not sure how he got that stain on his shirt.
Okay. Well, when you saw that photograph, did you go back and check the video to see? Wait a minute, why does he look like he does?
No.
You have this companion program at the prison?
We do.
And, basically, the program calls for you to pose somebody at the jail cell or the door of any particular individual in there, right?
If they're on some sort of mental health watch, yes.
Okay. So when somebody's sick and they're having mental health problems, the response is to basically stick a felon at their door and let them monitor that person, right?
No. If they're sick and have severe mental health problems, they'll be moved to the infirmary.
Okay. But in this case, you engaged this companion plan, didn't you?
Excuse me, I did what?
You were using companions with Mr. Allen, weren't you?
We were for the first couple months, yes.
Okay. So these people are, essentially, convicted felons, aren't they?
They're convicted, yes.
Well, they're felons too, aren't they?
I'm sure.
You don't have misdemeanants running around in your prison, do you?
Not that I'm aware of.
And certainly don't give access to the maximum security unit to those kind of people, right?
No.
And so you've got inmates that are sitting at the door with somebody who's sick, and you don't necessarily know what they're talking about, do you?
Sick meaning health-wise or?
Yeah, mental health issues.
I'm really unaware of his mental health issues other than I knew he was on some sort of watch.
And you're also unaware of what those companions are saying to those inmates, aren't you?
They're not supposed to be saying anything.
Well, but you don't know that they are or aren't, do you?
I don't know that they are.
They're pretty trustworthy people?
For the most part.
They would not ever go back in the general population and breach any of those confidences, would that?
That's not what I'm saying.
1 second, Your Honor. You've got a very worthy team of transport officers that have been, frankly, very kind to us. Is this a team that you use in other circumstances when you're transporting individuals to and from facilities?
Yes.
And is it a team that's trained to do this and, frankly, that's kind of their primary responsibility?
It's one of their responsibilities, yes, they're trained.
Pretty good at it, right?
They are.
I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, that housing Mr. Allen in this case has been quite a burden with all the lawyers involved and the demands and the visits and all the accusations.
It's one of many challenges.
Okay. So the answer's yes, it's a challenge?
It can be.
If the judge were to just ask your facility or ask you for the use of your transport team to maybe move him to and from a county jail 15 miles, or 20 miles, or 30 miles, whatever that might be, they would be capable of doing that, right?
They would be capable, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Judge. Warden, I want to show you again what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit A.
Yes.
Do you recognize that photo?
I do.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions to put in context this photo. The defense has alleged that this photo exhibits that their client is being mistreated. And I want to make sure I get the language right, that he's held in a cell.
No.
Do you know who took the photo?
I believe the attorneys did.
Okay. And you started to say this, and I think Mr. Razi cut you off a little bit, but when this photo was taken, where was he coming from? Rec?
Straight from the rec area.
And how long had he been in the rec area?
Probably 45 minutes or so.
Okay. And the shirt that he's wearing, you don't know how it got torn?
I don't.
Did he wear a different shirt every time he went to rec, or the same shirt every time he went to rec?
I believe he wore the same shirt. He was saving his other shirts for attorneys' visits, from what I was told.
And so that shirt that he's wearing there, you believe that's a shirt that he wore for rec every time he went to rec?
I know he wore that shirt to rec and then went straight to see his attorney.
Okay.
I wanted the video to see how his shirt was so dirty.
But at the time that that photo was taken, he had clean clothes in his cell?
That is correct.
Did he have new clothes from commissary in his cell?
Yes.
Okay. And did you or your staff attempt to change him out of his rec clothes before he met with attorneys?
No. We wouldn't have saw that stain, because his jumpsuit would have been buttoned up.
Okay. I thought you had made a comment before that he refused to change clothes.
He came straight from the rec area. He had the opportunity to change clothes and he did not.
Okay. So he had the opportunity to change before he met with his attorneys and he decided not to?
Correct.
Okay. Is he clothed in shirts like that on a daily basis?
No. If he is, again, that's his decision. He has clean clothes and his clothes are laundered every week.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Mr. Razi.
Do you know if he chose not to change clothes on that particular day?
He went from the rec area back to his cell, where he had the opportunity to change clothes.
Were you transporting him?
No.
Did you have anything to do with him going to the rec area to the cell?
I did not.
Where were you physically when he went from the rec area to the cell?
I might have been home, I can't tell you.
Okay. You don't really know?
But I watched the video and I saw it.
Okay. Mr. McClelland filed a response in this case to the motion that or let me ask you this. You recall me filing a motion with a bunch of these allegations about his conditions, right?
I saw it, yes.
You're intimately familiar with that, I'm assuming.
I'm familiar.
And Mr. McClelland called you before when he was deal ing with this issue, didn't he? And asked you about all these things.
I believe so, yes.
And in his response, I'm looking at it right here and it said, he had clean shirts in his cell at the time of the photo, but defense chose to photograph him in his dirty shirt in order to curry up sympathy in the public eye for the defendant. I didn't have any choice on what he was wearing that day, did I?
You did not.
So I didn't choose to photograph him in that circumstance, did I?
Well, you chose to photograph him, yes.
But it wasn't prompted by me that he was wearing that stuff, was it?
I'm not sure what it was prompted by.
Are you aware of any? Well, first of all, this vest that he's wearing today, you know what this vest is?
Ballistic vest.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the technology involved in these?
I mean, I'm familiar it's a ballistic vest.
Is it basically a shocker collar? Is there an electric charge that you can use or not?
Is there electric charge built into that vest?
Yeah. I don't know.
If it's a stun vest?
This vest.
I'm not sure what type of vest it is.
Is there some kind of belt on him that has an electric charge that you employ if there's a safety issue?
There should be one during transportation.
There is?
I'm not sure what's on him now. During transportation, if the CERT team decided to use one, that's pretty standard.
Okay.
Very standard.
Do you know that your staff had him on a leash when they brought him into visitation the other day?
A restraint chain?
It looked like a leash to me. It was like what you'd be.
We don't call it a leash, but a restraint.
Well, it's the same purpose, right?
It's for control.
Just like you would control a dog if you put a leash on them?
Just like we control the other 255 offenders.
Just like you would control a dog if you put a leash on them?
That's not correct, sir.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Warden. You may step down.
You're welcome, ma'am.